Alright, first off, I want to start off by saying going into this video, I am already irritated. I am already just, no, I'm not here for it. 100% not here for the foolishness. So, I already had issues. A video file that I've been working on for weeks was about to be out in 2 days, has corrupted. On top of that, I've had Twitter antis in my mentions. They got both my main account and my art account suspended, so all of the responses that I got for the Fujoshi video, all gone. All gone except for the few that I screenshot. So I can't ensue proper credit. I'm trying to salvage some of the video, but looking like it's not gonna be. So already I'm going in extremely irritated right now. I decided to wake up, get up, and I see in my mentions a video H3H3 called Content Nuke and about Keemstar. I'm like, oh, their beef has escalated yet again. So I'm just like, okay, let's see what it's about. I watched the video and I sat through, I think it was like 20 something minutes of the video, and there were points that I agreed with, very few that there were, but that's not because I like Keemstar, and that's not because I think he's a great person and just want to adamantly defend Keemstar before the H3H3 fanboys and fangirls who like to jerk off to every single thing this motherfucker does and never holds this nigga accountable. Keemstar as a person is horrible. He's like the Jeffree Star of the drama community. It seems whatever he does, he'll never just reach a low point. And I don't even think this is going to really hurt him. A lot of people are already kind of taking Keemstar's side and pointing out, and it always has to be the people who are hypocrites to a degree. The same thing happened with Leafy is here and Grade A Under A when they tried to take down Keemstar. And it didn't work because essentially Grade A Under A and Leafy were exposed for being shady motherfuckers as well. You can't try to expose shade when you yourself are shady. But Ethan is a special kind of shade to me. Ethan acts like this catty housewife. I watch Real Housewives on Bravo. I don't know how many of you in my audience do. It's a guilty pleasure, if you will. Reality TV shows trashy as fuck. It's like MySpace trashy, but with extra ante. My favorite particular show is Real Housewives of Atlanta. And let me tell you, Ethan Klein would fit right in, but he's in California right now, so Ethan Klein would fit right the fuck in with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Orange County, or Real Housewives of Atlanta. But as far as the shadiness and this being a catty little bitch every time nothing goes your way, going in, throwing shade at people, and then backtracking when you are put in a corner, it matches this man to a T. We like Ethan a whole lot better than we like Emma. He is acting like more of a housewife than his own wife is. Ethan has this thing where if you cross him, you saw this with Some Ordinary Gamers or Muda, if this man crosses you, he will try and destroy you and come for your whole career, while unironically being the most asshole and unlikable human to breathe in existence while doing it. And I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how you can cover your bases and still be disliked. It's a weird paradox to me. And this comes from somebody who is an H3H3 fan, was a fan back in their old days when they were making videos, being funny. I was even up there at the peak of the precipice when they were height at their career. Made that DJ Khaled video, which was funny as hell to me. Even with Vape Nation and when they got their nice Hollywood or Californian home, I was rooting for them. And I'm still to a degree rooting for them. I'm happy that Hila finally has her son, that they were finally able to get pregnant and they have their child. And Hila is a businesswoman, honey. She is spreading her brand. Her clothes to me are like, it's what fashion would look at and say yes. I've seen her stuff at the Zoom is by my house and it looks nice. I'm very for Teddy Fresh. I personally don't really find their style to be what I would want. If they came out with a black gothic line, I might buy it. I will never take their accolades away from them. But Ethan is constantly making this brand and this family look like a piece of shit. You can actually physically see it. in Hila's eyes and expressions when Ethan just goes on unnecessary tirades, says shit that puts him in the hot seat all the time. She'd just be looking at this like, damn, this about to be another Twitter moment. Like, she really tries, you can tell. When they had that whole joke about Hila being Ethan's caregiver, it really feels like that. She's taking care of 2 motherfucking children in her house. That cute little son of hers and that grown-ass man baby that she got. I'm like, come on now. Come on. And y'all gonna understand why. Now, I speak personally. I'm gonna just go in on what I personally am irritated about. The doxing situation, that was a circumstantial thing. I don't condone doxing. There have been attempts on me to be doxed before. I understand why Ethan would be very sensitive to the doxing situation, but he left out so much important context as to that doxing situation. The guy who was being doxed was an actual doxer. He was doxing and putting people's lives in danger and was an actual scumbag. So whatever. The old man being accused of pedophilia. I hate fake accusations. I hate fake rape accusations. I hate fake pedophilia accusations. So I'm 100% on that one. And even though Keemstar owned up to it, I don't roll with it. So he got that one. 100% on that one. The thing that irritated me the most, why would you use a man's suicide to make a point over a petty beef about a video game that you released for $5? Why? And this annoys me on 2 fronts. One, I feel it's very strong alleged that this man probably planned this upload to come out around this time, because Ethan is not as stupid as he likes to pretend he is. He is a businessman, you know, that's why they've been able to stay on top as long as they've been able to stay on top. Their connections, their business ventures, you know, they be looking at. It's very odd to me that around the birthday of Etika, of what his age would have been this year, is when Ethan decides to post this, and the bulk of his video being about Etika. That to me is very predatory, cash grabby. That's something we would criticize commercials and corporations for doing. For example, these corporations in the wake of the pandemic try to encourage people to buy their products. And 2, as somebody who has struggled with depression, suicidal thoughts, and actual attempts, as well as self-harm, how dare you, motherfucker? How dare you use someone's suicide? Someone's suicide, their troubles that led them to take their own life, that they felt like they weren't worthy enough in this world anymore. You take that and you use it to allegedly, it's not even allegedly, you straight up nothing short of implied that that was the major factor in his death. Despite all of the people around him, whether it be his fans, some of his friends, who literally were saying the same exact thing that Keemstar was saying. That is the only thing I 100% am not for. Keemstar had his jokes, said his things that he probably shouldn't have said. He had his way. He had the interview, which, to be fair, the interview was neither here nor there. A lot of the people thought that the interview Etika did with Keemstar was a promotional thing. Everyone was saying that. As somebody who's actually on the bottom and not at the top in my multi-million-dollar mansion, we actually saw that whole thing was going around. His fans were spamming clown emojis like the Bayhive spams the bee emoji. It got to the boy who cried wolf situation with Etika. And as sad as that is to say, he was so outlandish and so completely out there with his fans and people who detracted from him, and just people in general, that people couldn't really tell what was real and what wasn't. And even based on Etika's final video, you could tell this man had felt like he had gotten too deep into whatever he was, whether it be depression, whatever was going on with him, or even just the popularity of it all. And he felt like it was his opportunity to end it where he wanted to. That's how I personally view suicide, to me, as somebody who has gone through it. To use that moment in someone's life on the anniversary of what would have been their birthday, to use that and try and have that as a gotcha moment makes you no slipperier than the snake you claim is slithering around the corner. That is a low ass blow, and you can deny it, you can backpedal backpedal all the fuck you want. Backpedal as hard as you want about this. You were nothing short of just saying, yeah, you pushed the guy to kill himself. You went there. You used that. And that is your biggest flub. And that is one of the things I just can't. I cannot with you. I don't know if you didn't do, I can tell you did the editing for this video. Or the person who does your editing for your videos now did not have the balls or the courage to tell you, hey, maybe this is shitty. Let's cut this out. I can't. I literally can't. And the hypocrisy that surrounds that versus you and what you've said, I've let it go for so many years of the stuff that you've said and done, and I was like, as an old H3 fan, I was one of those people like the fans you have now and the minions you keep under your wing as far as your fans who say, oh, you know, he did that, but H3 is so funny, so, you know what, I'll just let it slide. Or, you know, he did that, but he's sorry, so it'll be okay. When it started with Pyrocynical, you told in DMs that were leaked that you were 100% down to destroy a YouTuber who was not even at your level. He was becoming successful. You were willing to tear down somebody who was maybe a threat to you, which wasn't even a threat. The environment was big enough where it could have been both of you, and it still is. It got to the point where you were willing to throw someone under the bus and tell them they couldn't have a platform to defend themselves and go out of your way to be that vindictive. That should have been an eye-opener for most people, as well as myself, that you're capable of doing and being that low down and dirty, and then rubbing it off as if you're still that savior for us, guys. And Keemstar wasn't the only person who had that theory about your FUPA organization and the game stuff. There were people who had this stuff talking way before Keemstar picked it up. So I don't know why you would use that as your catalyst, when you literally could just be like, Keemstar is a horrible person. Going after sponsors and whatnot, that just triggers adpocalypse vibes for me. And that is a trickle-down effect, and we've seen it with so many people who don't give a shit about YouTube. And for somebody who claims to be so in tune with YouTube and so much for us, so much for the little guys who try to make money, and then you go ahead and try to go after brands like that? I ignored the stuff then, and then I ignored when it progressed, and you were in the news again for the whole nigga controversy. I can say it, I'm black, I don't give a fuck if this video gets demonetized at this point. This is a ranty video. You said nigga, or it wasn't nigga, it was nigger. You said nigger. Okay, you didn't, and then you threw PewDiePie under the bus for saying nigger in a stream moment for like a second, and then he automatically took it back. People are still on the fence and divided about that. I personally felt like it was one of those gamer streamer moments, as a gamer myself and who have said all sorts of expletives when I am angry, including nigger, because we say shit when we get mad, especially in the moment, live stream. He did what he was supposed to do, he said he was sorry, and he ain't said it since, so whatever. But you decided to go on your podcast, like the first few, I think Ian, aka iDubbbz, was like the first person you invited onto your podcast, and you were just saying nigger like it was, you just been around white people who say it back in the country club. Like, you were just like, I love the way it rolls off the tongue. I'm not about to show no footage, because I'm not about to get no strike from this petty ass catty bitch, from this little petty little housewife Emma. That's what I'm gonna start calling you, a housewife, because you act catty as fuck. But you were just saying, oh nigger, I like the way it sounds, it rolls off the tongue. And then you sit your fat ass up there, and I can say fat ass because my ass is 200 something pounds. You sat your fat smug ass up there and you tried to claim that the N-word is just so unacceptable, we can't say it. After you done said that prior, and then you had enough nerve on your stream to say, hey, you know, women deserve to be dominated. It's the men that we just thrive on raping women, or some off the wall shit. That shit was so off the wall. Damn Joji, aka Filthy Frank or whatever, was looking at your ass like you were stupid. Like, every time someone brings up about you, you get so sensitive, and then you act like, you turn around and say, hey, you know, that doesn't work. Ethan is a housewife. I'm gonna start calling this man Emma, because he is a housewife to the T, and he acts catty as fuck, and he acts hypocritical as fuck. Say something, throw some shade, and start talking shit at the expense of other people, and then get mad and get loud and, hey, this ain't how it's supposed to go. I'm a good person. When people start calling him out, I can't. I cannot. Now you got this family. You got Etika's mother, you got his family, you got his ex-girlfriend who was 100% down with this man. You got all of them reliving this shit again. All because you wanted a little clout and you wanted to prove something, because you're that big bad alpha male, because everybody's just an incel and so desperate for your attention. Like, grow the fuck up, dude. You're like a 40-something-year-old man with a child and a wife and a beautiful business, a successful empire, and you are out here using people's death in the wake of a pandemic to make your little clout money and make your little expose videos. There are people who have done expose videos on Keemstar and done it significantly better than you. This was petty as fuck. This was catty as fuck. This got on my last nerve. And it really irritated me because I'm already on an irritation cycle right now. And on a side note, can I mention, why is Elvis the Alien's dumbass trying to come for Keemstar when his own quote-unquote best friend who he done worked with for years on Hot Wet Soup, aka Alex, I'm Alex right now, think we gonna forget about that, where y'all just straight up threw Zaptai under the bus and admitted that that shit was wrong. And then when I'm Alex continued to talk allegations on people who you knew in the industry, your ass was silent, didn't say shit. Where is your expose video on I'm Alex? Why is no one going after him? I guess if we're gonna go after Keemstar, we better go down the list. I better see somebody with some big clout start making an expose, a content nuke on I'm Alex next. Because if we talking about false allegations up in here, why don't we talk about I'm Alex? I hope Miss Emma of Teddy Fresh, I'm hoping that Ethan over here with his catty self gonna throw shade at I'm Alex for these false rape, false pedophilia, and false any allegation he feels in the mood for. Is nobody gonna talk about that? Like, I can't with these YouTubers. They get to a certain point in their lives, and I get it. You're rich, you're successful, you feel like you've arrived, honey, you've arrived. And that's great. But why do you have to feel the need to be petty? Like, nobody can question you, nobody can say anything bad about you, or else they're horrible. Let's talk about the way Ethan treats his employees. Is that not valuable? He treats them like shit. Like, some of the stuff he says to some of his employees, I was told that by some of my managers, and I fucking quit. Like, are you serious? That is my rant. I don't want to make this video too long and drawn out, but that shit really irritates me. That is some low down, dirty nigga shit. That is what it is. To use a man's death who you barely knew for some clicks and views. I don't even know if this video is monetized. Let me see if this video is monetized real quick. I get it. If you want to be whatever you want to be and claw your way up to the top and hurt everybody and anybody you can to stay on top, you damn well go ahead and do that. But don't try to come in our faces, the little people who make your money and make your brand and do your views, and try to play us as fools like you are this kind, majestic figure that cares about the little people. Don't give us that bullshit. Just be how it is. That's the only thing I'll say about Keemstar. As much of a piece of shit that he is, at least he's unapologetic and he is about that life. When he gotta be low down and dirty, he goes ahead and admits he's low down and dirty. Like, it is what it is. And I do not like Keemstar. I do not like him. But I'm telling you, as somebody who has watched Ethan, Hila, and the H3H3 production and almost never missed a video, all the way up till they made their podcast and everything, it hurts to see and realized that this man has always been the same. It's not like people say, oh, Ethan's changed. H3 isn't the same. Oh, he's made different content. It's not that Ethan has changed. He's always been the same little petty motherfucker. He's just started to up his ante, and now that he's at a safe place where his pettiness isn't gonna affect his brand for now, he can just go ahead and do it, and everybody will say, yes, Ethan, this is correct. We love you every single time. Well, I'm here to say you need to come correct, and you need to check yourself, because that was fucked up what you did. That was fucked up, and you need to own it, and you need to apologize. Not to us. Not to us, not to me, not to your fans. You need to apologize to that family who you used their son / ex-boyfriend / family member's death for views.